Dave here with Limitless Brave. Today we're going to be talking about a very popular but detrimental dating myth. And that myth is that women only care about money and looks. And I know a lot of you just got triggered by the fact that I said that. Research shows that this is in fact a myth. Now guys, if you believe this, unfortunately, you're creating a lot of anger, frustration, animosity toward women that shouldn't be there because it's not really true. Now, is there a small subsection of escorts and OF girls who are so shallow the only thing they care about is money? Of course, absolutely. And that same subset, it exists in men too, guys. There's very shallow, very materialistic, money-based men out there who attract these types of women. It's a very shallow, kind of pathetic relationship, quite honestly. So what does research really show about what women want when it comes to dating? But before we get into the research and the study of this myth, I want to talk about proper etiquette. Guys, when you invite a woman out on a date, you should be paying the bill. End of story. This is just proper etiquette. Doesn't matter if you're inviting a woman out on a date or you're asking your buddy to go out and grab some steaks. If you're inviting him out, you should be paying the bill. This is just proper etiquette. It's the way it works. Now, I know a lot of you young guys don't have a lot of money and you've been influenced by social media that you should be spending a lot of money on a woman, and if you don't, you're not worth anything. That couldn't be further from the truth. Only a shallow woman is going to look at the money spent on her when it comes to a date. Now, I'm not saying be a cheapskate. What I'm saying is be realistic. If you don't have a lot of money, there's plenty of free options for you to go and have a wonderful date that doesn't break your bank, guys. So be realistic with yourself. Own the fact that you have a financial cap, and that's okay. Everybody does. And play within those parameters. Be real. That's what women are looking for. Now let's get into this research. All right, guys, got the research right here on my phone. I'm not memorizing an entire research paper. So this is what we've got from the 2019 study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology. They analyzed over 10,000 participants across multiple dating studies. And these are the top 5 things that women ranked as the most important. Notice that money isn't in any of these. Kindness and understanding is number 1. Emotional stability is number 2. Intelligence and humor is number 3. Shared values and compatibility, well, that goes both ways, guys. And trustworthiness and reliability are the top 5 answers. So money's not even mentioned, not once. And then we go on with these studies from Dr. Helen Fisher and Dr. John Gottman. You may have seen some of Dr. John Gottman's work on the internet here. So they say that physical attraction plays a role in initial interest, but long-term satisfaction when it comes to relationships is primarily driven by emotional connection, compatibility, and character traits. In 2020, a study by Northwestern University found that couples who met through friends or shared activities where personality is revealed first, not money, reported higher relationship satisfaction than those who met based primarily on physical attraction. Interesting, guys. So not once was money mentioned in there as something that's important. Now, you guys hear all the time from shallow women on the internet that you have to spend a lot of money on them to be worth anything. You don't, guys. This is the real stuff below the surface. And I promise if you've spent any time around these more shallow women, when you got to know them, when it comes to this idea of money, What they really react to, what they really care about, what they really are dreaming of are these things. But they put the mask, the facade of money on as something important. And it's not, guys. If you're dealing with a healthy woman, these are the characteristics that she's looking for. If you're dealing with an unhealthy woman, the money, the Lambos, the dinners, the ridiculous vacations, guys, that's not real. It's real for some people, but it's a very shallow experience at the end of the day. So attraction is actually a very complex and in-depth topic, and to lump it into one thing is ludicrous. It's not something you want to do. So let's take a look at some of the things that are really building attraction. Now, physical attraction, it varies from person to person. Every man and every woman has their own physical things they like to see in the opposite sex. So that's on you guys. And then we have emotional attraction, the ability to be empathetic, to understand, to emotionally connect with that partner. If you can do that, that's fantastic. Remember, women are very emotional creatures, and they're looking for the emotional connection. They're not looking so much for the physical attributes like we do as men. Then there's mental attraction, the ability to show off your intelligence and the way you process and think about things, your creativity, your intellect. That's really important for a lot of people, because nobody wants to be with a dud. And then we have social attraction. Are you the wallflower? Or are you introverted? Or are you the bombastic, very extroverted, excited, big energy type person? There's nothing wrong with either one of those, but we're attracted to sometimes the opposite of what we really are. So own who you are, be who you are, and understand that that is part of the attraction process. Is you're either introversion or you're extroversion. And do you have the ability to have a conversation, talk to many different types of people, explore different cultures and ways of thinking? That's socially attractive to a lot of people. And then we have value-based attraction. And this is attraction based on values. And that's everything from financial values to political values to family values to cultural values, religious values. The list goes on and on and on. And this idea that anyone makes a decision about a relationship based on two factors, like we're talking about, i.e. money or looks, is ludicrous. Attraction is a very complex and very deep thing that requires a lot of elements to be hit so that it actually works. The initial attraction, guys, with the money, the expensive dinners, the Lambos, and all the other bullshit, it's a flash in a pan. Those relationships don't last. They fall apart. So when it comes to money and women, women are looking for somebody to provide for them while they're staying home with the kids. That's what this is about. But a lot of women now can provide for themselves. They're career oriented, they're working, and they don't need a man to provide for them. Women that are looking for that resource, the financial resource, are most likely looking to have a family, and they want to stay home and raise the kids, raise the family, take care of the household. And as a man, why wouldn't you want that? You should be the provider for that. If you want a healthy family, go to work, make the money so that your wife can stay home, raise those kids in a healthy, structured, safe environment. So we're not breeding more and more lunacy into this world, but well-rounded, well-educated, and very aware children. This is really important for the future growth of humanity, if you will. The other reason women might be looking at you for financial is not necessarily that you are going to be supporting them. Say, we'll take an example of maybe you don't want children and she doesn't want children. Well, if she's working and you're working, she wants to know that you're capable of matching her. Can you take 3 weeks off and go to Tahiti? If she can, she wants you to be able to do that, right? So there's a lot of different reasons that money comes into play when it comes to relationships. It also, if you do well with money, it shows that you're capable of planning, you are dedicated and committed to working, and that you see the future as something that is adventurous, exciting, a future that has opportunity, that isn't limited. So money is an important thing when it comes to a relationship, but it's not the only thing. So don't get stuck in the mindset of women only want money. So guys, how is this negatively affecting you and women? Well, it's affecting your perception of yourself, your worth, your value, your perceived worth and value of yourself. You see all of the bullshit online about spending all this money and this and that and the next amazing thing just to get the girl. Well, if you don't have that, well, you feel less than. But guys, remember, it's not about that. Yes, you need to have a little bit of money, but not a lot. What's most important is believing in yourself, knowing that doesn't matter what comes along, you'll be able to handle it. And if a simple walk in the park is what you can afford right now, then own it, do it. And that's what it's about. It's about being the real version of yourself and not a fake version of yourself, not spending money you don't have on a woman that's really not that interested in you. And for women, when guys feel that the only thing they want is money, well, that makes the woman feel shallow, ditzy, worthless. It's the exact same experience. And what is happening is this wedge is being driven. This idea of money and looks are the most important things for women. This wedge is being driven between both sexes, and it creates a lot more problem. Yes, a woman wants to feel supported. She wants you to take her to dinner, take her on little dates, and why not? She's your girl. You should. And this is another form of you kind of going out and hunting, right? And bringing the food back to the family, to the tribe. But we just do it in dollars instead of deer these days, right? That's kind of the way this philosophy works, this psychology works. She's looking for a partner that can protect her, provide for her, and be a part of her life long term. And it's not about spending gobs and gobs of money, guys. That's where you guys fail and buy into the narrative that's actually a fake narrative, a myth that we've already discussed. So at the end of the day, guys, work on your mindset, work on your career, make your money, but understand there's limitations to it. And don't do something you shouldn't be doing that's financially irresponsible just to impress a woman. Be genuine, be who you really are, and show up that way, authentically. Just like I train all the guys that come and work with me here at Limitless Brave. And as we went through the research, women are not looking for money. Healthy women are not looking for money. That is not their number one thing on the list. So guys, if you want to come and work with me, you want to get your dating game dialed in, get that masculine mindset switched on, check out the links below. Got some workshops coming up, and would love to work with you. Love to get you in here and correct any kind of misinformation that's been instilled inside of you due to social media or just bratty women. All right, guys, see you on the next video.